Hello everyone, this is another video from Mylixia TV. We got a question today from BerserkTaco. Question is, how do I deal with anxiety? Anything that stresses me out, or talking to girls in social situations, I'm at a loss for words and I don't know what to do. So this is an extremely common problem. This is a problem that we have as a result of being a society that is increasingly dependent on phones and external communication that doesn't involve talking to a human being. So this is an issue that a lot of people have, and that's one of the reasons I decided to address it today. It's two separate issues though, because there is a mental neurosis for actual psychological issues such as being afraid or having actual social anxiety, and there's a problem of being able to talk to people. So I'm going to address the second one today. The very first thing that I have to offer you is the idea of value definition, which means in order to talk to another person on a level where you can feel confident in what you have to say and you constantly have things to say, the very first thing you need to do is you need to define what makes you valuable as a person, right? So a lot of that can be personality traits, and I would write these down. I would say, what as a person makes me interesting? What, am I funny? Am I honest? Am I hard talking? Do I just tell people like it is? Am I a good friend? Am I reliable? Write down these things that you think are going to define you as a person that's worth talking to. And everybody has them, you just sort of have to figure out what those are for yourself. Those could be that you're hardworking, it could be that you are always interesting or find funny, something's funny to say in a situation, things that your friends have told you and things like that. And there's a difference between personality and character. So personality would be things just the way that you are, but character would be things like traits, like honesty, the aforementioned hardworking, things like that that you hold in yourself. And what are the things that you have that you can do for somebody? Do you have skills? Can you fix things? Can you repair a car or a computer? Can you teach someone how to dance? Can you teach martial arts? Like the stuff that I do. What do you have to offer to somebody that they would be interested in? And can you use that to interject into a conversation? If you have somebody say, man, I really need my computer fixed, I have no idea who you can do it, would that be an opportunity for you to be able to go in and say, hey, I actually do that, I can help you out, right? So value definition is the first thing you need to do, and the thing you need to know you need to know yourself before you can talk to anybody else. You need to be able to advertise yourself and be able to go out and talk to someone about yourself before you have anything to talk about. The very first question on someone else's mind when they meet you is who you are. And so you need to know who you are. So I'd write all that down. Write what makes you a skillful, confident, and capable person. And the second thing is to deal with social anxiety itself. You have to be actually aware of what your enemy is, and you have to be aware that it's assailable. So what I mean by that is that a lot of people see social anxiety as just something they have. It's like maybe a neurosis like dyslexia or like any kind of number of like psychological problems. They don't see it as something that they can actually counter with practice, when in reality this is something that is totally natural for us to do. We're just mostly out of touch with it. We're unable to remember how to do it because we don't do it that often. So this is not something that you can't overcome. You have to be able to realize that this is under your control, and you have to say, how can I bring this under my control? One really good way to do this is you actually model after people who have done it successfully. YouTube's a great way to do this. You'll find tons of people that have had social anxiety problems and have solved them through overcoming barriers, mental barriers in their own minds, and they'll be able to talk to you about how they do it. Find people who you can model. Find people who can be an inspiration to you, and will be able to give you step-by-step processes to how they did it. And then what that'll also do is it'll give you the confidence to realize, hey, other people did this, so I can do it as well. It's something that's under my control. You have to own that first. It's something I say a lot, is you have to own it, right? So you own, okay, I've got this social anxiety problem, but it is something that I can counter. It's something that I can cure. I know I can do it because these following people did it, and so I know I'm capable, right? So the second step there, after you've kind of defined who you are and defined what makes you a valuable person within these conversations, is to actually recognize that enemy and say, this is my problem, I own it, but I can fix it. These other people have fixed it. I'm going to model myself after how they've done it, and I'm going to make progress, right? The third thing, finally, would be actually taking small progressive action steps to improve your social anxiety. And the only way you improve social anxiety is by actually doing it. So I would say you can start really small and do something like, okay, once a week or once a day, I'm going to say hi to somebody. I'm going to take the time to actually go talk to someone, or just say hello or ask them how they're doing. I'm going to ask them one question. And then maybe my monthly goal is going to be, I'm going to invite one girl to coffee, right? I'm just going to say, hey, I love tea or I love coffee. Will you come out and talk to me for a little while? You know, whatever. A lot of times in these situations, you can turn your weakness into a strength. And this is something I used to do when I was a lot less socially confident, was you go up to someone and say, hey, I have a problem talking to people. You know, I don't know how this is going to go, but I found that you were really interesting, and I just want to take a few minutes of your time and hope that you would come talk to me or whatever. You know, it doesn't sound desperate. That probably sounded a little bit too pleading. But something like, you know, admitting a weakness and saying, hey, you know, I've got an issue talking to people. You know, maybe prelude a conversation with that. It'll help you become more confident. The person won't care, but you yourself, you'll be like, okay, I've got that out of the way, and now I can talk to them without having to feel like I'm going to screw up, right? Your nervousness is completely fabricated, so anything you can say within the conversation that makes you feel better, any kind of trigger phase or any kind of phrasing that will improve that is better for you. Because the reality is that everybody has problems socially. Everybody has these issues to some degree. Even people that are very good public speakers and very famous have these issues. So you're not different. You're not like messed up because you have these issues. Everyone is thinking the same thing that you are, that this is a new person, that they might be afraid of talking to them, that they don't know how quite to go about this. If you prelude it with something like, hey, I'm not used to this, or I found you interesting, and I normally don't talk to people, but I just want to talk to you for a little while. Do you have time to come out and go to the beach or do something like that? You know, that's gonna break the ice. And I would say that the last thing that I would say, and it's not on my notes, but I would say that people in general are mortal, and you have nothing to be afraid of in terms of approaching people. There are so many people in the world, in the place that you live, and they have so many concerns and worries, and they have so much going on, that they are never going to worry about that awkward moment, you know, that you said something weird or whatever. That's all preschool bullshit, right? That's all high school bullshit. That's all stuff that has surpassed most adult minds by the time that they are working individuals, by the time that they have relationships themselves and things they need to worry about and bills to pay. That's stuff that people that don't have enough time worry about. You need to be able to wipe that stuff off your slate and realize how temporal it is in the grand scheme of things, how little that matters in a week or a month or 6 months or a year, that'll have no impact on the direction of your life. So the people that you talk to, if they're not worth it, were people that you weren't destined to speak to, or people you were not destined to go out with or whatever in the first place. Destiny is a very tough word, but essentially what it means is that there are always other opportunities. There are always other options to be able to acquiesce or go out and achieve. You don't need to worry about that one person you didn't get, that one girl you didn't get. We fixate too much on people as individuals when there are so many opportunities to talk to people and so many opportunities every single day. Set very small goals to be able to achieve your goals of getting into the place where you're a public figure who is confident in speaking. It's only practice that will get you there, so you have to write out lists in combination with the two things that I recommended before, which is that value definition and defining the enemy. And write out those little small goals that you have and say, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to say hello to one person. That's reasonable. I can handle that. I'm going to have a monthly goal. I'm going to have a weekly goal, and I'm going to keep doing this. And progressively, you're going to get better and better at this, and the problem will solve itself. Any kind of introspection, like meditation or reflection about how you did, is also very healthy and will improve the process faster. So those are my suggestions for social anxiety, and I hope that helps. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. Come to ask.fm or just the broadcast and ask me questions, and you will get a video response most likely. So thank you very much for listening to this video, and that's all I got for today. Very best wishes. Talk to you soon.